So welcome back again. Hopefully it's fine now. All right. And if you guys are still having some issue on your end with the sound, then let me know, guys. So I was talking about the inflation. So inflation data is very important for next couple of weeks to months. All right. So as I said, right now inflation is running about 4%. All right, 4.16 year-on-year basis in the US. All right. And if inflation is transitory, then it is not going to put a lot of impact on the market, and Fed is not going it is not going to force Fed to alter their policy or to change their policy. Okay, so further rise in the inflation, if inflation is going beyond 5% and going to stay there for a while, then definitely it is going to force the Fed to change their monetary policy, okay, and to wind up their QE program and start thinking about raising rate quicker than the expected time. Okay, so higher inflation can force Fed to do that. All right, and so next week data is going to be very important on the inflation. Okay, so on 10th of June we are going to see another data. That data is going to be very important. If 10th of June data is going to be if 10th of June data is going to be yeah, similar kind of numbers, let's say above 0.8%, okay, then there going to be obviously pressure on the Fed to start talking about winding up their QE program. Okay, and all that scenario going to be bullish. Okay, so all central banks were ultra dovish during this last year. Okay, and now it's time for them to change their policy. If they are not going to change their policy, okay, then inflation is already picking up in some countries, okay, like Turkey. Right now inflation is around 16 point, not around, all right, so just today inflation data released in the Turkey, it was 16.99. okay, so some countries are fighting with inflation, and if inflation is not transitory and going to be persistent, then obviously Fed will also gonna show similar kind of concerns, which Turkish bank is right now saying that. So all these stories gonna be super bullish for the dollar, okay, and bearish for the rest of the market, okay, bearish for the all risk on assets, all right, and definitely at some point Fed is going to wind up their QE program, okay, and that's the next story, that's the next phase, which is very much clear. People were buying everything since last March, all right, so we had a tremendous year, yeah, 2020 and 2021, all right, everything was cheap, people were just buying everything, all right, and right now everything is too much expensive, all right, and on the top, okay. From this point, you should not expect assets to just keep pushing higher until Fed is going to change their policy. Once they're going to change their policy, then we can see that the assets going to start to go back to the reality, okay, and then they can continue the trend. So right now we're going to talk about the non-farm payroll. We are having non-farm payroll data tomorrow, which is also going to be important for the Fed to look at that and start talking about the wind up of the QE. So highly likely they're gonna start cutting their monthly 120 billion QE program at in August or in November, okay. So at the end of this year they're gonna start winding up they're gonna start cutting 120 billion. So we are having a couple of more months, so all this is gonna be a super bullish story for the dollar. So I'm just gonna gonna show you what has happened in past when we have seen inflation went higher, and then when when Fed started winding up their QE program, then what has happened with the dollar. Okay, so that was the the place, okay, when that was the, you know, this is when they created inflation, central banks, okay, and this is when they started to fight with inflation, okay, tightening cycle. That was the tightening cycle. So we have seen a super bullish dollar at that time, okay. So similar kind of story gonna be over there. As I said, if inflation is going to be out of control of the central bank, okay, then you should not expect this to continue to keep rising, okay. So there's gonna be a strong aggressive move back to these areas, very much similar like that, okay, when central bank gonna start controlling the inflation. So we are expecting this is the move, okay. So from, as I have just shown you, inflation data, okay, so if inflation keeps rising from there, from 4%, okay, then this is going to be a super bullish story for the dollar, okay. So people are going to run after the dollar, all right. So on higher inflation, people are going to run after the, you know, there is no, you know, safety when inflation is rising, okay, but at the end they're going to be the dollar winner on higher inflation, okay, as with compared to the rest of the assets, okay. Reason, because Fed gonna start fighting with the inflation. When they're gonna start fighting with the inflation, there is a win-win story for the dollar. All other assets gonna go down. Right now inflation is above 2%, right, and 4.16%, and Fed is saying that this is transitory, okay. This is just a spike which we have seen there, okay, in 2007 and 8, and then inflation started to fall back or there, okay. That's the transitory, you know, seen. So they are saying that this is again a transitory, okay. This is not going to be a persistent or something like that. It's not going to spike, okay, and inflation going to be under control again. If so, then it's still going to be a stronger, you know, bullish story for the dollar, but we are not going to see a very sharp move on the dollar, okay, but still going to be bullish story for the dollar. So that's the theme, okay. Any data which comes out over there, either data is going to be, let's say it's going to be a non-farm payroll, it's going to be a retail sales, or it is going to be a inflation data, okay. So all going to be, you know, good for the dollar, even if they are not going to be so good, okay. But right now, since you know, since we can say that you know, March and April non-farm payroll number is very, very important, okay, for the Fed to change their policy. If numbers keeps improving, if numbers gonna keeps improving, okay, then we can expect Fed to tighten their policy. So that's the you know, story behind the you know, fundamental story, okay. Now we're gonna look at the setups, okay, for tomorrow. As I said, we are going to be super bullish on the dollar, all right. And if I'm gonna look at the dollar index, okay, so dollar index, as I said, hasn't, you know, done much since last couple of days to weeks, all right. We are still in a, you know, longer term bearish you know, drop on dollar, okay. From that top, we are, you know, still should be in a 2 days chart, okay. So this you know, sell still going on over there on the dollar index, okay. But right now, as I said, the story which I have just told you, okay, this is going to be the longer term trend, all right, longer term trend. So you only can expect dollar to stay trending for more downside if inflation is going to be out of control, and Fed will keep playing the inflation, I mean downplaying the inflation, all right. If Fed gonna keep playing down inflation, then, you know, you can expect dollar to stay bearish, okay, which is not the case, okay. This is not going to be the case either. You know, inflation has to one of them, you know, gonna has to rise, okay. Either the yield should jump, okay, so US 10-year yield should rise very, very aggressively for upside, or dollar has to go down, all right. So dollar has already done its move for the downside, okay. Now it's time for the inflation to jump, all right. Inflation, sorry, US 10-year yield, okay, yield to jump, okay. So it's, everyone is just waiting for the yield to jump, all right, and Fed to say something about the tightening cycle, all right. So super bullish story for longer term, that hasn't changed, guys, okay. This, as I said, this next leg, so last time the leg which we have seen on winding up their QE program was that, okay, super bullish story for the dollar at that time, okay. So similar kind of move we are expecting again on the dollar, all right. And on lower time frame, if I'm gonna look at the lower time frame, dollar is still, you know, looks weaker, okay, but struggling to push more lower and setting up for a strong breakout. So as I said, if numbers are going to be very good tomorrow, okay, and the wave you are looking is this, okay, all the way back to that top. So any, you know, dip on it gonna be a buy opportunity. So right now it's trying to break out, okay, and we already have seen that flag to broken out, all right, and prices just trying to pick up ahead of that non-farm payroll numbers, okay. So you are just simply looking this to be sharp, okay, and correct for another time for more upside and trend, and keep rising for more upside. If it is not breaking very aggressively, okay, then push for more downside, another leg like my arrow is showing, all right, and then hold these areas, hold these lows, and then continue to keep rising for more upside. So if it is not taking off very aggressively, you still can trade for short term for upside like these moves, okay, and then can take your profit off rather than staying into the market for more upside, okay. You can take off your profit, and then again can wait for the dollar to sit at the previous bottom, and then you can jump. Hopefully you have heard already news on the Chinese yuan. You know, China central bank said that Chinese are simply buying dollar, okay, at such levels. They don't want their currency to get more stronger against the dollar, okay. It's not good for them. So this might be a sign for you to be prepared for the dollar strength, okay. So euro dollar gonna be the opposite, all right. So as I have shown you the bigger chart, okay, that bigger chart is still a bearish story, okay, and on weekly chart it is struggling to push more higher, okay. That's a bigger longer term wave which we are looking on this chart, all right, and you are simply looking price to stay below 1.2250 areas, okay, and we are already bearish on it from the top. We are selling it, okay, and looking for a bigger move to the downside. So it's just breaking right now, all right. So it's just breaking right now. We were expecting it to drop from there, from these areas, all right, and break out of that flag. So that flag is just breaking and price is just pushing lower. As I said, this flag broken, okay, so similar flag which I have just shown on the dollar index, all right. So that flag already broken. Let me just, you know, invert that chart so that you guys can understand that, all right. Okay, so dollar index, and this is also similar like that. Okay, so that flag has just broken out. So you're looking this to take off right now from this, okay, and sharp move for the upside. If it is not going to fall very aggressively, euro dollar, all right, then go down for another leg, okay. So test this previous low and hold that, and then rise very aggressively, fall very aggressively from that top, okay, this top 100 and previous top, okay. And the move, as I said, you are looking is the 16, okay, so 16 and 1650, okay. So that's what you are looking. If it is not falling very aggressively, then you still can take off your profit, okay, by selling it from these highs, okay, these previous highs, these small moves, and take off your profit out from the market rather than staying in, okay. So you shouldn't be into the trade at at current price, okay, because the move is very much gone already on this chart, okay. And if you're gonna get into the trade, it still can go back to the top, okay. There is a 100 pip move, a 100 pip range on the euro dollar at this at the current price, okay, and still can go back to the previous top, okay. So let me you know, check the previous chart. Okay, so there is a strong divergence on this chart, all right, on euro dollar, not just on the euro dollar, okay, on all dollar pairs, okay. So strong divergence is just appearing, okay. We are looking this whole move, okay, high and low. So you're looking price to go low from the high rather than, you know, buying at the high, all right. So euro dollar breakout, strong breakout, yeah. yeah, you shouldn't be into the trade. Okay, let the price clear this. Okay, once price gonna form trending move to the downside, then let this to pull back, similar move. Okay, similar move there, and then you can chase the continuation move to the downside rather than chasing the price at the current price. Okay, this is not a good price to get into the trade. It's trying to break, all right, it's trying to fall, trying to clear the 1.2140 areas, but still, trying to still holding. The reason, we are not having a good news for the dollar right now, all right, but tomorrow we may get a good news. Okay, non-farm payroll going to be a good news for this chart to fall very, very aggressively. Okay, and once price fall very, very aggressively, this is going to be the chart to keep selling all the way up to 106, 107 for next couple of years, right? When next couple of years means 2 to 3 years. Okay, so there's going to be a trend for next 2 to 3 years on the euro dollar, all right, and that trend going to be over there without any doubt. Okay, right, because Fed cannot keep their ultra loose monetary policy forever. Okay, they have to stop that at some point. Okay, we are not expecting that much drop on the euro dollar, all right, but anything can happen over there. So you are simply looking this to just go back within these areas, the previous 106, 104 areas. Okay, so upside is limited. There is no logic for the euro to just keep rising, all right. So fun is over. Okay, so we had fun last year since March, that bigger move, all right, now that's over. Now let's get back to the reality, all right. So dollar chief is also going to be a bullish story. Okay, so right now they are falling. Yeah, dollar is falling. Okay, but you are looking this to break out very, very aggressive. Very much similar kind of analysis which I have just shown you on the euro dollar. Okay, another leg lower, test the previous low and then go back up. All right, test the previous low and go back up. So try buying these areas, these lows, okay, rather than chasing the price at there. If you're going to get into the trade, they still can fall back for another leg lower back to that low or maybe new low, right? So try getting into the trade as the at the previous lows. So when you should buy, okay, if you price is not testing these lows, let the price confirm the trend, let the price break through the previous bearish trend first. Okay, and once it's gonna correct, then you should chase the price. Okay, that correction can be deeper, all right, deeper rather than at 1991. Okay, so better to get into the trade at lows rather than at such levels. Okay, so bullish story on the dollar chief and bearish story on the Kiwi. Kiwi is just breaking. We were expecting it to fall, all right, so there should be updates. That's the update on the Kiwi, and we were looking for this to break down and continue to keep dropping. Okay, we got another slight bullish move over there. Okay, and then we were expecting it to slightly push beyond these areas and go up to 74 and then drop. Okay, but it never went up to 70, these such areas. Okay, and then struggle, then drop, and then dropping from there. New Zealand dollar. Okay, so dropping from 73 area, 73.20. Okay, so never hit 74 areas. So the chart is very much similar like that. Okay, as I said before a couple of times that you are expecting dollar to gain at least up to these areas. Okay, so October lows, all right, that analysis is still gonna be there. Okay, October lows, we are having October lows there. Okay, so it can drop all the way back to these areas, and when Fed gonna start winding up their QE program, this is gonna be super bullish story for the dollar, and that can drive this all the way back to that low. So right now price is already dropping from that previous top, all right, and you are looking simply this to break down very, very aggressively for the bearish trend to continue, all right, all the way back to at least back to this area. Okay, if it is not going down, all right, then simply go back up for another short-term bullish move within that channel. Then you are looking again the similar move. Okay, this similar move, these moves, okay, from there, from that top, that move back to within these areas, or a bigger drop back to that low or October lows. Okay, so short-term buy gonna be over there. Okay, you can trade for that move. All right, I wouldn't suggest you to go for that trade. This is not a good trade to, this is not a good move to chase. All right, this is going to be with the previous trend, but this is not a good trade to catch up. Okay, you can end up with a small money, and maybe gonna end up with losing money, okay, because Kiwi is finding up its top over there for longer term, all right, and stay bearish every time and price come closer to 73 areas. Okay, so same analysis on this chart, all right, so you are looking this to drop to, okay, update is there, that's the update. All right, this analysis is still there, that hasn't changed. All right, so last time we were looking for this to do that, it went higher slightly, okay, and went higher slightly, but started to correct over there like this. Okay, we never seen that move back to that top or new high, okay, and it's struggling. So very much simple analysis, there is no need to be confused on this chart. It's simply struggling, okay, so you are looking again similar move on this chart up to October lows, all right, and this drop all the way back to that low, and there is still a possibility that this chart can bounce back within these areas, okay, within these areas from these lows, okay, like that, okay, back to these areas or slightly higher than that. So buy setup is there for short term, okay, so these kind of moves left over there for another day, okay, but you should be careful rather than chasing for buy. Stay bearish on this chart, and every time and you see that the price is coming closer to 78.50 areas, all right, or 79 areas, they're going to be a good opportunity for short on the Australian dollar, US dollar, okay, rather than buying it. Okay, so that's the structure. So as I said, price is not at a good spot for selling, all right, you shouldn't be seller over there at the current price, okay, because many dollar pairs, they are moving right now, okay, they are moving, dollar is just simply gaining. Either you have missed the move on the dollar pair, or you are chasing it at a bad spot right now, okay, because the strength, the bullish move on the dollar hasn't confirmed yet, okay, so but non-farm payroll numbers can confirm tomorrow. Good non-farm payroll numbers can confirm that move tomorrow. All right, so that's the structure on the Australian dollar breakout. We are expecting it to break down and continue to keep dragging lower. Okay, so this is going to be the chart which you should not miss. This is going to be the bigger move to catch. Okay, so move to let's go to this previous chart first, okay, and then look at that. Okay, so this 2-day chart is still playing out over there, and we are almost hit the 120 areas, okay, 120 target is tagged over there on this chart, all right, and the next move gonna be over there, okay, so this chart, what a big move we had over there on this chart on the dollar CAD since March 2020, all right. And the next chart, the next wave is gonna be the bullish wave on it, all right. So right now, as I said, investors are having some fears on higher inflation, okay. So higher inflation, yeah, there are two things you should keep in your mind, okay. If inflation keeps rising, all right, and Fed is not going to show any fear on higher inflation, okay, you're gonna see strength on the dollar, okay. So strength on the dollar gonna comes then when Fed is going to change their tone, okay, when they're gonna change their dovish tone to hawkish, okay, then you're gonna see dollar gonna start rising very, very aggressively, okay, and that's gonna be the time to load up on the dollar. All right, and the next move gonna be the bullish, okay. Again, let me tell you one more thing, okay. Is there possibility that the dollar CAD just keep dropping for more downside like it has done previously in 2005, okay, and in 2007? Yes, there is possibility, okay. There is nothing is 100% confirmed in this market, okay. There is possibility that the dollar CAD still can keep driving all the way back to that low, okay. But this move means that oil has to go beyond 100 and 120, all right, 100, 120 or 110, somewhere there within those areas. Oil has to go back to the previous highs, okay. Oil only can go higher to those previous levels again in one scenario, if OPEC countries aren't going to keep tight oil supply, okay, then you can expect oil to just keep rising. Or right now, many countries are trying to move away from oil and trying to go for green energy, okay. So all these things are not good for the oil to keep climbing up to 120 or 126 or such levels, okay. They are not making sense. What is making sense right now is the higher inflation, okay. Inflation is picking up. If inflation is not transitory, okay, then you're gonna see all these things gonna reverse very, very quickly after after central banks intervention. Okay, so what's the trade on the dollar CAD? Super bullish story on the dollar CAD, okay. Even if it keeps dropping, you are simply looking it to bounce up from previous lows, okay, and looking for buys within those levels. Okay, so it bounced up. We were expecting this move to happen, price to hold these lows, okay. It held, and now it's trying to break out that triangle. This is a triangle for more downside right now, okay, but conditions are extremely oversold on the dollar CAD, okay, which cannot stay there for much longer period of time, okay. If I'm gonna look at the weekly chart, this chart is not going to, this indicator is not going to sustain, right? Not going to sustain means this indicator is not going to stay there, okay. Just going to teach you another thing. So right now RSI is running around 14 point, 14. Before that it was 12.56. Okay, before that 14.29, and then there, okay, there I'm showing you that area, that place. All right, okay, so RSI right now was running, before that it was running 12.56, okay, and right now it is running at 14.55. okay, these areas, that place, 14.55. okay, so if I'm gonna look at this top, when it went so much aggressively higher at these areas, RSI was extremely overbought and it was running at 92.16, okay, at there 19. Just look at that when I'm gonna hover over there. So 92.16. okay, and what you have seen after that, a tremendous move over there on the dollar CAD for the downside. Okay, so there's going to be a bullish move. If that bullish move is not going to go all the way back to that top, at least there's going to be a correction, weekly correction. All right, these oversold conditions have to be overbought. Okay, if I'm gonna look at this weekly chart and gonna look at that area, okay, and that place. Okay, RSI at that time was at 8.17. okay, check that area when I'm gonna hover over at this area. So 8.17. okay, so oversold conditions went for overbought, okay, and you had a weekly correction, then price started its bearish trend for more downside. Okay, so RSI is not going to stay there where it is right now at the current price. Okay, that has to be overbought before the trend continue to the downside. So fundamentals and all those things are not pointing it to keep trending for more downside. All right, and you should be looking for this to bounce off very, very aggressively from this area and price to just keep rising for more upside. Okay, so a quick sharp move from the current price, okay, gonna confirm that the price is going to reverse for more upside. So if price is not going to rise very, very aggressively, okay, and just keep correcting over there and keep pushing lower, you shouldn't be load up over there for upside aggressively. Okay, you can trade for short term for more upside against the trend and with the trend for the downside, and can keep taking your profit off. Okay, so this is not the move which we are looking right now. Okay, these are not our goal. Okay, our goal is the reversal for longer term and a bigger move to happen on the dollar CAD for upside, like the bearish move has happened over there on the dollar CAD from the previous top, okay, which I have just shown you at the previous in the previous chart. Okay, so this is going to be the bigger move. Okay, shouldn't be missed. Okay, once that move comes, and you can keep trading all the way back to the previous top. All right, previous top, yeah, it is definitely going to take a lot of time to reach over there at 146. Yeah, it's not gonna be a quick move. All right, so you are again preparing for deflation. All right, deflation, guys. That's the dollar CAD. Pound dollar is also gonna be a similar kind of story. Right now pound is strong. Yeah, that's the weekly chart which we are having over there right now. A short term one more up move is just trying to happen over there. Let me go to the clean chart, okay, and let's look at this. Okay, the structure on this chart is that, okay, so you are watching basically dollar. There's a lot of dollar supply right now in the market. Okay, we are having a lot of supply in the market. Okay, and that's causing dollar weaknesses. All right, but that story is not going to stay there forever. Okay, that's creating inflation not just in the US, across the world. All right, we are having inflation issues across the world, and some central banks are worried. Okay, that's at a so much high level. Okay, and if rates gonna keep rising, then how central banks and countries gonna manage their debt levels? Okay, so central banks will not let the inflation just keep rising. All right, they will definitely gonna come out and gonna stop inflation to keep rising. Okay, and they will try whatever they can do to keep interest rate levels as much low as they can for longer term. All right, so that they can come out from this massive debt problems. All right, so what you are looking on the pound dollar. Okay, so pound dollar to break down to, all right, that move, so it slightly can push higher and can go beyond that previous top before going to drop. Okay, so make sure you understand the price action and then get into the trade for the downside. Okay, so dollar yen is just simply climbing, and we are expecting it to just keep rising for more upside. Okay, there should be a chart on it on the dollar yen. Okay, and this is rising slowly. We may see more strength on the dollar against the yen. Okay, because this is the chart which is still not moved on its strength like other yen pairs. They moved on their strength. Okay, and this pair still got a good potential to keep pushing more higher. Okay, the updated chart is not there. We do have that in our room, so you are simply looking for this to just keep rising. All right, so right now it's breaking for the next leg. Weekly chart. Okay, weekly chart is still there. This chart too, there is possibility that the dollar yen still can keep that trend for more upside and can go beyond that top. Okay, so dollar yen still has the potential to keep rising all the way up to 120. All right, so almost all other yen pairs, they have made that weekly move. All right, they have made that weekly move, but this chart is still there. Okay, the dollar yen chart is still in halfway. All right, still in a halfway, so we still can see more strength on this chart on the dollar yen rather than weaknesses for one more drop. Okay, so still can go all the way up to 120. So short term stay bullish. Okay, and even longer term stay bullish, and the previous breakout which we were expecting to happen from there. Okay, and that has happened. All right, the previous breakout was there. Okay, we had that breakout too on the dollar yen, and right now you are simply looking at a short-term bullish story. Okay, the breakout already happened, this correction already broken. Okay, and price is slowly trying to continue to keep rising. So as I said, there are going to be a non-farm payroll numbers tomorrow, and you are simply looking this to keep the trend intact and keep rising for more upside. Okay, breakout already happened, and it's just slowly trying to push more higher. Okay, so you shouldn't be chasing the price at current price. Okay, you are already missed the trade. Okay, on this breakout. All right, or at this area. So what you should do, okay, so either you should stay away from this chart, okay, or let the price drop back for another leg lower back to these areas on this 4-hour time frame, and then you get into the trade. Okay, so at least up to that high, this previous top. Okay, there is a potential for this pair to at least run up to that top. All right, so that's what you are looking on the dollar yen. It has already broken out, so you should wait for the price to at least tag that area, and short-term trade gonna be that. Okay, stop gonna be behind. Yeah, and next move to happen. All right, so breakout is already happened over there, and price is just trying to rise. Okay, slowly trying to rise for more upside. All right, and if it dips back to that low during the day, during the New York session, okay, you are looking this short-term trade and this to possibly go all the way back to that top, or longer term for more upside. So longer term opportunity is not, you know, you have already missed on longer term opportunity from the bottom. So trade short term for more upside, okay, rather than for a longer term setup. All right. So dollar yen still got a potential to keep pushing more higher. All right, and that's the dollar. So if I'm gonna look at the gold chart, okay, so gold to let's remove everything from there. Okay, so gold currently is, you know, gold is, you know, very, we can say that correlated right now with the US 10-year yield. Okay, so US 10-year yield to break out the previous, you know, correction, the correction which we are having over there. Okay, this correction, breakout on that correction will drop, you know, is going to drop the gold very aggressively lower. Okay, gold is not going to sustain its bullish trend for more upside. As I said, guys, inflation is the main story in the market right now. All right, and once central bank gonna start fighting with inflation, that's gonna be a super bullish story for the dollar. Okay, and all these things which are, you know, popping up aggressively for upside, all these assets gonna go down. Okay, so gold is also gonna be a bearish story. All right, and the way which we are expecting right now on the gold, okay, is the bearish one. Okay, again, if you are, you know, getting into the gold shorts today, okay, so take all precautions, okay, because dollar is simply preparing for the non-farm payroll for tomorrow. Okay, and dollar is gaining, as I said, right now. Okay, but the move which we are looking is the bearish. If you see that the numbers are going to be good today, tomorrow on the non-farm payroll, okay, then you are looking that way. Make sure you use proper risk reward ratio on this. Okay, don't trade on gold against the trend without stop loss. Okay, because the bullish trend is strong on the gold. You cannot fight with this trend without having, you know, stop loss. Look at that, how that weekly trend, how strong that trend is there on the gold. So don't trade, yeah, without stop loss for upside. Yeah, if you are buying gold, all right, without stop loss, that is also risky, but less risky as with compared to the sellings. All right, okay, so you are looking gold to break down sharply, that, you know, right, break down, correct, and go all the way back to the previous floor. All right, so gold to break down. All right, so let me check that old chart when we were looking for this to break down. Okay, and it went higher. All right, so we were looking for this to break down or go back up. Okay, and it was just keep rising. Small corrections were forming, rising. So you are looking this sharp move again from that top. Okay, a very sharp move comes, which is just trying to appear over there right now on gold. Okay, and you are looking that to break that you know, daily correction and then go all the way back to that low or more downside. So more downside, longer term downside is not there until, you know, we're gonna have, you know, change in policy from the Fed. All right, so this, you know, short term, we were looking for that short term buy opportunity on the silver. That has almost completed. All right, and similar kind of setup gonna be over there on the silver. Okay, now just simply turn bearish. So you're looking good numbers tomorrow on the non-farm payroll, and this daily wave to appear over there all the way back to that low. All right, sharp sell-off. All right, correct over there, and that wave. Okay, which is just trying to break down right now. So let me look at this. The copper is also gonna be a, you know, longer term bearish story. All right, and but still short term still bullish. Okay, so short term still bullish. It's a short term still bullish story, but longer term bearish. So when whatever trade you are taking on it, okay, make sure you understand that you are buying at the top and selling against the trend for longer term to the downside. Okay, so short term still a bullish story, but longer term still bearish. All right. Okay, so short term still, if numbers, non-farm payroll numbers are not going to be good, okay, you are simply looking for another leg higher. Okay, another leg higher. Okay, so sellers, if you are looking for sell, right now price action is not there, so you shouldn't chase the sell at the current price on the copper. Okay, only wait for the price to tag these previous tops before you get into the sell side, or let the price confirm the bearish trend. All right, so oil. Okay, if I'm gonna look at the oil is you know, pushing higher. If I'm gonna remove that, all right, and gonna look at this 4-hour time frame, you are simply looking oil to either correct for another time or go down. Okay, so OPEC countries are trying to push oil prices higher. Okay, so you are looking sharp sell off, correction over there, and that's the trade. Okay, like that trade, right? Like that trade, right? Or like that, and a possible sharp breakdown all the way back to that low. Okay, if not breaking, then go back up or drop. All right, so yield to breakout for the next leg. Okay, that's the US 10-year yield. All right, and you are looking Nikkei index to, all right, so Nikkei index to break out and continue to go higher or go down for another leg. Okay, so breakout and continue to keep rising slowly for upside all the way, or break down sharply for one more drop like that. Okay, and then test that previous low and then again go higher. Okay, S&P 500 again gone into a correction. All right, and we are expecting it to stay in a correction, all right, rather than, you know, for more upside. Okay, push, drop another leg lower and then continue to keep rising. Okay, that correction. So one more drop is we are looking on the S&P 500. Okay, so same goes there. All right, and we are looking this to drop for another leg lower. Let me go to the clean chart and look at that Nasdaq 100 index chart. All right, so Nasdaq 100 index is sensitive to higher inflation. Okay, and you are simply looking for another leg lower like that. Okay, another leg lower back to this previous low or up to that low, and then continue the trend. Okay, that's the structure on the Nasdaq 100 index. Okay, another leg lower. We are simply expecting another leg lower on this stock. Okay, as I said, inflation is picking up. You shouldn't be expecting stock to just keep rising. So you should expect stock to fall back, to equities to fall back for another leg lower before they continue the next trend. Okay, so same goes with this chart. Okay, another leg, another bearish leg to happen. Yeah, so trade with care if you are selling specifically. Okay, and short-term buyers, you should wait for the dip to happen before you start buying this stock. All right. Okay, so US 30 to fall back for another leg lower before continue the trend. So Bitcoin, you know, people are still, you know, they simply want to buy. Okay, they don't understand that why the dip is happening, and they just want to, they are just simply buying blindly. I'm just trying to find out my old chart. Okay, so the old chart is there. So if you do remember, guys, you know, when this has happened over there, when price was there in April, okay, I told you that we still can see, you know, another leg on the Bitcoin. or up to 65,000 mark, okay, and you shouldn't expect Bitcoin to keep rising, okay. And the reason which I have just shown you there was the divergence, okay. We had a strong divergence on the Bitcoin at that time, and right after another leg higher on the Bitcoin, this leg we got a strong sell-off on the Bitcoin, okay, and it just went lower. Okay, and the next chart was there. That's a masterpiece of wave trading, we can say that, okay, because it has lost almost 54% of its value since, you know, I posted that chart from that top, okay. And look at that, how nicely it went lower up to 30k mark. All right, so all these were continuation chart on the Bitcoin. Yeah, we are looking at to tag 25%. Okay, now right now people are desperate to buy the dip, okay. They believe that this is the best opportunity for them to buy. All right, and right now we have seen that move, okay, and it went into a triangle formation, okay, and that's the update. We were expecting it to hold the 40,000 area and continue for the next leg lower up to 25. All right, we have seen that leg, all right, from there to 33, I think, okay, 33, okay. Price is still holding that low. So understand the reason why that has happened, why Bitcoin went lower. Again, higher inflation, okay. And why it went higher, okay, understand that why it went higher, because there was so much cheap money in the market. Every single asset was rising, okay. It is not the Bitcoin which was you know rising. Almost every single asset was rising since March 23. Why? Because there is a lot of cheap money in the market. Central bank, they are printing since March 2023, okay, and all that money is just fueling the assets for upside, okay. So should you expect Bitcoin to keep rising for another 65,000 top or 70 or 100k anytime soon? You should not expect that. Reason, because central bank, again, inflation is picking up, okay, and once they're going to start fighting with inflation, you should not expect these assets to just keep rising, okay. So now you should expect that these assets to go into correction, all right, go into a bigger daily to weekly correction. Right now they are already in the weekly correction, okay, and once that weekly correction gonna finish, then you should expect the next bullish wave to happen, okay. How long that correction can take, all right, it can take a lot of time, okay, for the next wave to happen, okay. So the crypto market was around 2.60 trillion, all right, and after that drop it has, you know, remained around I think 1.39 or something trillion, all right. So people were realizing their profit. So what's next is the question, okay. So the next is that we are in a weekly correction, all right, and that weekly correction hasn't finished yet, but I have shown you last time the divergence to play out, okay, this divergence to play out, if you remember there, okay. Now that divergence is playing out, okay. Has that wave completed? No, it hasn't completed yet, okay. So you shouldn't be buying the dip, all right. Look at that, okay. Look at this momentum, okay. It has, you know, lost its strength, I mean this strength very aggressively, all right. It hasn't finished yet. So weekly wave hasn't finished yet. So this weekly wave has to finish first before you start looking for this next leg, okay. If I'm gonna go to the log scale, okay, so according to this log scale chart, we are in a bullish trend, okay. So this correction hasn't finished yet, okay. So this move has to finish before you start looking for the next leg, okay. So is there a possibility for the Bitcoin to drop for another leg up to 25,000? Yes, there is possibility, all right. So what price it should hold? Yeah, it shouldn't go above, you know, 42,000 areas, all right. It should you know stay below, you know, 40 areas, okay. So let me look at that area, that price, okay, like that triangle, okay. It should hold that triangle, Okay, or if I'm gonna make it more simple for you, okay, then just simply look at this. Okay, look at that trend. Okay, as long as price stay above that trend, there is no sell opportunity. Okay, it is just pushing higher. Okay, if I'm gonna go to the further, 15-minute time frame, okay, look at that. There is no sell opportunity on the Bitcoin, or you can stay short-term bullish on the Bitcoin. All right, so short-term, stay short-term bullish. As long as price keep correcting for these moves, you are short-term bullish and looking for the next bullish leg. And once price fall back very, very aggressively to that trend line, okay, this, all right, so you are looking at another correction and looking for another small push up, okay, like that. Okay, another small push up like that. And once you see that the trend is going to break down sharply like that, okay, then looking for it to go up to 30K mark, and then 25K mark. Okay, and then find its bottom over there around 25 or 20K, and then start rising. So you are staying short-term bullish, as I have shown you there, all right, and expecting it to struggle to go beyond these previous top, all right, these previous top 43,000 or 42, these areas, okay, and struggle there and then fall very, very aggressively back within these areas, and price to stay sideways within this area or drop back to 25K. So same strategy, you use same strategy on other coins. Okay, BNB gonna be a good coin as with compared to the Bitcoin. Okay, if it drops, all right, drop or fall back to the previous bottom, all right, yeah, if it goes back to these such levels, these areas, okay, this is going to be the good coin for longer term to buy finance. So right now, okay, as I said, in weekly correction hasn't completed yet, all right, so stay short term bullish. As long as price stay trending, you are trending, okay, and once price fall back very, very aggressively to the trend line, okay, and break down, then you are looking these coins to go down for another leg. Okay, so sharp sell-off, correct, go down, okay, or correct, another correction, stay short-term bullish. Okay, so this is going to be the good coin to hold for longer term. All right, so we have seen dollar charts. Okay, dollar charts are picking up. So yen pairs. Okay, now let's look at the yen. All right, so yen, we were expecting Kiwi yen to drop. Okay, so Kiwi yen is dropping right now. All right, so Kiwi yen is just dropping right now. Let me find the chart, and let's go to this old chart. Okay, so we are within that. So similar kind of structure we are having on oil. Oil also going to behave similar way. All right, and the next chart is there. Okay, so we got a breakout on this. Okay, we got a breakout. We are expecting it to break down aggressively and leave that. Okay, or go back up for another leg and then drop. Okay, so structure is very much simple and easy to understand right now on this chart on the Kiwi. All right, so there was a correction, and that correction is broken already. Okay, and it's heading towards this trend. All right, and the next is this correction. Okay, once price gonna break through this aggressively, all right, like that it has done there. Okay, then go back up for the next leg higher and then drop from the top. Okay, that's the structure on the Kiwi. Similar structure gonna be over there on the Aussie yen. All right, so yeah, we were expecting this to break down too. It's broken. Before that, we were looking for it to go higher for the next leg. All right, during the RBA rate statement, but it went higher, but we did not see the bullish move which we were expecting all the way back to that top. All right, now we are having breakout. Okay, it's breaking for the next leg to the downside, so we are expecting it to break through this trend line and continue to keep dragging lower or another push up. So better to stay bearish, okay, bullish on the Kiwi, yen. Okay, so again, there is a strong divergence, okay, and that's not going to change. Okay, there is a strong divergence which I have just shown you on the Bitcoin, and that's not going to change. Yeah, so the bigger move has to come. This bigger move has to come, like the move which you have just experienced on the Bitcoin. Okay, or October lows. All right, so central banks can drive that move. Their action can drive that bearish move. So October lows still on card. All right, and this is going to be the last, or once you're going to see that the other is going to move, then you're going to see this pair also gonna draw for a big move to the downside like others. So short term still bullish, okay, and looking for this to fall, to break down very, very aggressively. Okay, so right now still short term bullish story on the CAD yen chart. Okay, so drop, go back up, and then drop, or drop very, very aggressively. Yeah, so it slightly can push higher like that move. All right, so same analysis is there on the pound yen. Okay, so we are hitting this previous top, like the pound dollar chart. Okay, so the next yeah, you got this. Okay, you got a story on this chart, okay, already when I was talking about that weekly chart to draw from there. Okay, you got a weekly drop from there on this chart. So same story we are expecting on the pound yen to draw from that top. All right, and drop aggressively, okay, or push up for another leg higher, and then drop. Okay, so same on this chart, chief yen, we are expecting a big drop on it. Okay, or this to go to the October lows. Okay, so short term trend is still bullish. All right, that hasn't changed, and October lows, okay, and this still can push slightly higher before going to drop. All right, so that's the chief yen. All right, so currency market is very slow and waiting for some some action from central banks. All right, so a short term one more push up can happen on the euro yen. All right, another push up can happen like that. Short term still a buy story, okay, but longer term we are looking this to go all the way back to October lows. Right, October lows are there at this area, so they're gonna be that big wave. So short term still a buy opportunity over there, okay, like my arrow is showing. Okay, so Kiwi Cad still in a bearish trend. Okay, we were expecting it to find its bottom somewhere, and then go back up. Okay, so look at that. That's the October lows. They are testing the October lows. Okay, we got a big wave there. We got a big wave on the Bitcoin. We got a big wave on the CAD pairs. Okay, but many pairs are still, not ready for that big weekly wave because fundamentals needs to change for them. Okay, so there are gonna be big moves soon. The rest of the year gonna be, for the Fed to wind up their quantitative easing, all right, and that's gonna drive those weekly waves. I'm telling you now. All right, so this to just keep trending lower. All right, slowly keep trending lower, test this previous low or form new low, and then go back up. Okay, then go back up all the way back to this previous top. All right, so we do have that 8-hour time frame chart. We are still within that wave. Okay, the wave which we were searching over there from that top, we do have that wave. Okay, we are still within that wave. All right, the recent update was that we are still within that wave. Okay, now we are expecting this wave to end. Okay, and find its bottom somewhere there within these areas or October lows, and then start rising for upside. Okay, so Kiwi Cad, Uzi Cad is also similar chart. Okay, we have seen strength on the CAD, and this is still bearish. Okay, this is still Uzi is still bearish, and we have just tagged the October lows on this chart. Okay, and we are expecting it to find its floor over there on the October lows and then go back up. There is possibility that we're not going to get that bullish move on these two charts, on the Kiwi Cad and Aussie Cad. Okay, and these two currencies going to keep losing their value, New Zealand dollar and Australian dollar. Okay, because these two banks still not showing any signs for tightening. Okay, we have seen some signs from the RBNZ, all right, Reserve Bank of New Zealand. Okay, but Reserve Bank of Australia is not showing any signs for the tightening yet, right? Which means that we can see some weaknesses on these two currencies, and they still can drive the previous wave for more downside short-term bearish trend. All right, short-term this bearish trend. Okay, once these two banks gonna start winding up their easy monetary policy, all right, then we can see that bullish move. Okay, market is not ready for that move yet. Okay, and still within the previous trend. Okay, but we're gonna have that move eventually when these two banks gonna start showing some signs for tightening. Okay, so what move you are looking right now? Okay, this is the bearish wave is already happening. You are looking it to form new low. Okay, and this counter trend move. Okay, and if it rises very aggressively, then you are looking for reversal. Otherwise, take off your profit off rather than staying in. Okay, bit tricky to trade against the trend. Okay, so trade with care. Okay, so Eurocad, same analysis like I have shown on the other CAD pairs. Okay, so trending move to happen. All right, that trending move to keep trending over there. Another bearish back to that low, bearish leg. Okay, and then go all the way back to the previous top. All right, that previous top. Top is far away. Okay, but this is the drop is getting slower on the Eurocad. Okay, the drop is getting slower, so that's the move you are looking. The same goes with the CAD chief. Okay, so push more higher and then stop falling. All right, let me finish them quickly, guys. All right, so you are looking this to just keep rising. Okay, let me remove everything. Okay, let's go to that daily chart. We were expecting another leg lower over there. Okay, we did not see that. All right, when price broke down and then went higher, now we are simply looking for this to go all the way back to that October highs. All right, and price is setting up for that right now simply. Okay, and you are looking for this to break out and continue the trend for more upside. Okay, do not look for sell right now on it until there is a good price action for sell. All right, this to just keep rising. Okay, and correct and keep rising all the way up to October. 20 October highs. Okay, so 20 October highs are far away. Okay, and it can be quick to that price. All right, so there is potential that this pair can rise all the way back to that top. All right, far away. Yeah, but you are not looking that much far away right now. You are looking simply for next leg over there. Okay, and what price gonna do after that next leg? Okay, same goes with this. You are looking at October lows, as I said many times that these October lows. All right, that's the move. Okay, so breakout right now. You are looking another leg lower simply. Okay, and this to break down. Australian dollar is just getting some weaknesses, or we can say that dollar is just simply gaining some strength. All right, across the market. Yes, dollar is just trying to gain ahead of that non-farm payroll numbers. All right, and that's the reason to hold this weekly market outlook. Okay, so similar kind of setup we had over there on the Euro New Zealand dollar. We were looking for another leg lower and then reversal. We did not see breakout. Okay, and then we changed our forecast on the Euro New Zealand dollar. Okay, and then that's the updated chart. Okay, and then the recent updated chart was that Euro New Zealand dollar to drop and then pick up from floor. Let me find out a chart for you, right? And All right, so now what you are looking is this. I mean, that's the old chart. Okay, we were expecting that bearish drop to happen. We had that drop on other day when we had the red decision on the Kiwi. Okay, we were expecting that drop to happen. This is a 4-hour time frame chart. We had that sharp sell-off, all right, this sharp sell-off, and then we have seen a bounce off over there over the trend line on this chart. Okay, and then price is just, you know, heading but on the leg higher. So this is the move you are looking right now on the Euro New Zealand dollar. Okay, the price to just keep rising for more upside on the Euro New Zealand dollar. Okay, and not short on it. Okay, short is not there yet. For, as I said, there is potential for this pair to go all the way up to that October highs. All right, that October highs. So long way to go on this chart. So if I'm gonna look at the lower time frame, once price gonna test that previous top, okay, I'm gonna start struggling over there. All right, this top, okay, this previous top, I'm gonna start struggling over there. Wait for the sharp sell-off to come, and then you start looking for similar kind of lag over there, or back to that this low or low. Okay, new low at this area. So this trade is not there right now. Okay, so what you are looking simply just euro against the New Zealand dollar to stay trending on the current you know, trend, and just keep rising for short term for more upside. Okay, this breakout came, this breakout came, all these tiny breakouts are happening over there. Okay, so you are looking simply another correction to form over there and breakout. Okay, so short term one more upside. So put your stop somewhere there and looking for these kind of, you know, continuation trades on it. Okay, so Kiwi Chief is also similar like that. So you are looking this to drop. Okay, let me check this clean chart. All right. Okay, so Kiwi Chief to also go down. Right, we do have, you know, some sell opportunities over there on the Kiwi. Yeah, and this is a slow moving pair, but it's, you know, it's heading towards the right direction, the direction which we are looking. Okay, so this October lows, that October lows. Okay, if I'm gonna look at that 4-hour time frame chart, it's breaking right now and trying to drop. So similar way like I have shown you the Euro New Zealand dollar. So there is a trend. Okay, that trend to keep dropping all the way back to that low or new low. Okay, and go back up after having sharp price action, or I mean similar analysis like I have just shown you the Euro New Zealand dollar. I don't think so I should talk about that a lot. Okay, correct and push. Okay, and that's the trend. Okay, so Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar is also dropping. Okay, and you are simply looking this to correct back and fall. Okay, yes, there is the correction. Okay, correction is coming back to the trend. Complete that to the trend line and then start falling. Okay, we are having that weekly wave. It's heading towards the right direction. Okay, we were expecting it to drop. All right, that drop is just simply happening right now. All right, so the next update was the correction. Okay, that correction, we are having that correction right now. All right, and once that correction gonna complete, okay, so correction to slightly push more higher. Okay, let me put that way. Okay, so slightly push more higher. Okay, slightly go more higher, struggle within these areas, again hold that trend line. Okay, and that trade back to that low, or go all the way back to that daily lows which I have just shown you. Okay, so this to keep pushing more higher. All right, this to keep pushing more higher and go beyond the October lows. All right, okay, so go beyond the October lows. Okay, so you don't have a perfect buy opportunity right now on it. Okay, so better to let this to go more higher and then trade counter. Okay, and go beyond this previous top. Okay, October. Okay, see that many pairs are testing the October, you know, highs and lows, and many of them are not. Okay, which are not testing that October highs and lows, you are simply, you know, not letting them go without you. Okay, so go there and then drop. Okay, so this to go higher too. Okay, go beyond that October highs. October high is there. Okay, so there is the October high. Okay, slightly go beyond that October high and then start falling. We had a good trade on it, okay, last week, and then price recovered. Okay, now correct and push more higher. Okay, stay trending and just keep pushing more higher. Okay, you don't have a perfect opportunity on this chart, but at the previous top, at the October highs, it can struggle. Okay, you can get a good sell opportunity over there on the October highs. This chart. Okay, pound CAD, stay bullish. Okay, that's the chart. It went into a good, I mean, bigger correction, not a good, you know, sideways market, but a bigger correction. So you're simply looking for that to break out. All right, hold this and break out. All right, and that's the trade. Or simply looking for the CAD to get weaker. Okay, that's the trade. Pound chief also chart is very much clear. There is a buy opportunity on this. All right, and that's the trade. Okay, go back up to that top. All right, on a weekly, on a daily time frame, this is the move you are looking. Okay, this daily breakout to happen. Right, this daily correction. It went into a daily correction. Another one. Okay, so that trade. All right, so let me see if I don't have update over there, but we do have that in our group. Okay, so simply looking for you know, this to break out or dip for another leg lower. Okay, and then hold and then go back up. Okay, that's what you are looking. All right, that's what you're looking. And same goes with this chart. Okay, you are looking this to break down or go back up for another leg. And euro pound to, all right, so let me, you know, explain this chart in a different way for you guys. So these two charts, euro pound and Eurocad, both are, you know, the moves, you know, against the risk on moves. So there is possibility that you're not gonna have one more leg. Okay, back to that low, the leg which I have just shown you. Okay, so you're I mean, like I have shown you Euro New Zealand dollar and Euro Australian dollar chart. Okay, the daily chart I have shown you for a sell, but price never went for that drop, and then we started to look for those two charts to buy, and they are moving higher right now for the daily move for the upside. Okay, so similar, you know, wave you can see there on this chart. Okay, so short term sell, there is not a bigger move you are looking on these two on the euro pound. Okay, you are looking a short small move and then small move, the arrow which I'm just showing over there. Okay, and then a buy opportunity from the previous low or maybe new low. Okay, all right, so that's what you are looking. So another leg lower. All right, so the daily chart which I have shown over there on these two charts. Okay, that daily chart. All right, so we haven't seen that one more leg. Okay, and then they start, you know, pushing up. Then we start looking for longer term reversal on them. So that's what I'm saying on the Euro New Zealand dollar. Okay, Kiwi Chief, we have seen that. Okay, Euro Chief is a short term buy opportunity. Okay, you're looking for that to break out short term to medium and longer term. So you're staying bullish on that. Okay, that's what you are looking. So stay short term bullish and use proper risk reward ratio and look for these short term buy opportunities within those areas. Okay, back to these areas or much higher levels. The spot gold dropped 2%, right? Went up to 66. Okay, so there's gonna be a buy opportunity on this chart on the dollar Chinese yuan. We are already looking for that to happen. All right, now it's happening right now. Okay, it's not just, you know, as I said, guys, it's a higher inflation market. Okay, higher inflation is the problem right now. Inflation is picking up, which is creating fear for the investors. Okay, so that's the dollar Chinese yuan, and Chinese are also buying dollar. Okay, which means that they don't want weaker, stronger yuan. Okay, it's impacting on their export, so they want, you know, weaker currency to get edge on the import and exports. All right, so we were looking for this to continue to go higher. Right now it's picking up. Okay, it's still gonna be against the trend, okay, the longer term bearish trend, but some central banks are struggling with their stronger currency, like Chinese. Okay, and there are many other central banks which are also want weaker currency. They don't want their stronger currencies. All right, so now correct for another time and keep rising. Okay, and give us a longer term reversal. Okay, and give us a longer term reversal and another stronger move like that. Okay, another stronger move like that. The Chinese yuan, dollar against the Chinese yuan. Okay, dollar peso also going to be a good chart to watch. Okay, it's finding its floor over there, and you are looking this to break out for longer term for upside. Okay, that move. It's sitting it's sitting at the bottom. All right, so you are looking this to just pop up very, very aggressively. Okay, so buying the lows. Okay, don't chase the higher price, only buying the lows. Okay, buy the previous bottom, or there you can see lows. All right, so waiting for it to come that low or test the previous bottom, and then looking for this to break out for the upside. All right, so I think that's the currency market. Oil is a bearish story. As I said, you are looking it to drop. Okay, Brent to drop very, very aggressively, fall hard. Okay, fall hard, correct, and that trade. If it keeps pushing slowly for upside, don't trade. Okay, don't sell, let that go. All right, let that to keep pushing higher. So, you know, the Brent can extend up to $80. Okay, when you are selling the Brent, make sure you understand that the trend is still bullish. Okay, the trend is still bullish on the Brent, and it can extend up to $80, 75, 76, or 80. Okay, but there's going to be pressure on the oil, right? And some countries are already explaining that, you know, the dollar, I mean the oil is very expensive right now. Okay, which is causing inflation. All right, and other stocks. Okay, other stocks, as I said, they need dip. All right, they need dip, they need drop, they need to drop. All right, they need to drop for another leg lower. Okay, so this was a just quick, you know, quick go through from the dollar pairs just for tomorrow for non-farm payroll. Okay, and the rest of the crypto market, if you are buying crypto right now, okay, I would suggest you to stay away from buying the crypto, the dip. Okay, this is not a best time to buy. I was telling you when Bitcoin was testing 65,000. All right, so Bitcoin is more important, assets, right now than other, crypto coins, okay, or altcoins. Okay, when Bitcoin goes down, the rest of the market goes down. When Bitcoin goes higher, then the rest of the market goes higher. Okay, the rest of the market is in a lag. Okay, when Bitcoin goes higher, then the rest of the market start picking up. All right, so which went higher first? Bitcoin went higher first. Okay, and then the Ethereum was still sitting at the bottom. Right, when Bitcoin made its move, then you have seen that the Ethereum started to rise. So if you're buying, crypto dips now or holding for longer term, this is not a best time to buy. Okay, it went into a correction. Okay, this is the start of the correction. Okay, and they can stay there similar like that they have done previously. Okay, so you can see similar kind of bigger correction. You are not going to see they can stay there like that before going to start rising. Okay, so let me tell you in a different way. Okay, that's the Bitcoin market cap. Okay, so it went down from 1.21 trillion to just 60. Let me pull out the box. Okay, so it dropped 54%. Okay, look at that. There are a lot of reasons people can use that. Okay, look at that. So Bitcoin has lost 664 billion, okay, within couple of weeks. So this money is not going to get back within one day or 2 days, right? It has to find its bottom first, and once, you know, those who have taken that money out, okay, they are not, you know, dumb people, they're smart people, okay? They're smart they're smart investors, okay? They need reasons, they need logic to put that money back into the market. Okay, once there's gonna be reason, they're gonna start putting that money back into the market, and you're gonna see the next bullish move for upside. Right now we are having inflation fears, okay? That's caused that to go down. Inflation fears caused that drop to happen, okay? So if you're buying crypto right now, this is not the best time according to me, all right? Okay, this is not the best time. When I was saying that, look for crypto to buy when they were sitting, all these coins were sitting at these floors, okay? That was the time, and then they made their move, okay? So the volatility is huge on the crypto market. That volatility has to settle down first, okay? Once that volatility gonna settle down, okay, and price is gonna find their bottom, then the next bullish move gonna happen. Then the next bullish move like that gonna happen, okay? They hasn't find. Okay, so let me tell you, you know, a different thing. Okay, so we can see correction, okay? We can see a daily correction in this way, all right? That way, that correction can happen, and price can fall again back to that low, all right? Back to this low, right? So this correction doesn't mean that there is a trend. There is the next wave is going to happen. So we, as I said, we are in a weekly correction, okay? Your momentum indicator, your MACD is telling you, okay, this has to complete first, all right? This has to complete, this bearish move has to complete first, okay? Once this bearish wave gonna complete, then you're gonna see the next bullish wave, all right? So let that to finish. It may take a couple of months, it may take a couple of years, okay? I think it is going to take, you know, 1 or 2 years, okay, before the next bullish wave to happen over there. So don't tie up your money over there if you got good return from crypto, all right? So, you know, this is not the time to reinvest that money again in. If you're gonna, you know, reinvest that money again at such levels, okay, you may end up giving that money back to the market. Let these coins be cheap again, okay? You're gonna have, you know, again, good, you know, good, you know, returns. So this is the you know, I'm telling you, I'm talking about those, you know, traders, those investors who are longer term investors, who are thinking to hold these coins for longer term, all right? Let's say 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. If your goal is not that, and you just want to trade for short term, okay, then go to your lower time frame, 15-minute to 30-minute time frame, or 4-hour time frame. There are setups, okay? There are setups for short term, okay? You can trade over there for short term, all right? But if you are planning to invest and hold for longer term, let's say 2, 3, or 5 years, okay, so this is not a best time to invest for longer term, okay? Let this market to calm down, let this market to find their weekly correction first, okay? And once that weekly correction gonna be over there, then start looking to accumulate for the next bullish wave, all right? So the pattern and structure is same like Bitcoin on other coins. Ethereum is also forming same move, okay? The correction is just pushing higher slowly on a lower time frame. You are, you know, watching for a sharp sell-off or next leg lower, okay? Same goes with the Dogecoin. You are looking another leg lower, okay? This leg lower before you start looking for buy, all right? So all these coins are exactly following the Bitcoin, okay? Same structure, nothing new, all right? Another leg to happen, weekly leg to happen, weekly wave to complete, and then all these coins. Let me look at the weekly chart, okay? There you're gonna understand, okay? Look at that, how sharp sell is that there, okay? So that's it, enough for the week, all right? And enough for today, not for the week, all right? So the The meeting which we had today was for the non-farm payroll. Very important data. Non-farm payroll numbers are very important. Non-farm payroll number, non-farm NFP is very important, and the most important data gonna be on the 10th of June, which is the inflation. That's more important. Okay, so if inflation is going to rise for another, let's say 0. For the previous month for 0.8 or 0.9 or 0.6, okay, that's definitely going to create panic, right? So that's more important than the non-farm payroll. Okay, but from onward, non-farm payroll numbers going to move the market, definitely going to move the market, because Fed going to depend on the non-farm payroll data. Yeah, and good numbers obviously going to move the dollar, bad numbers obviously going to move the dollar too. All right, so if you trade based on the NFP data, okay, you can, start looking for the NFP data every month. Before that, and before the pandemic, non-farm payroll numbers were not moving the market, okay, because we were having the peak. All right, now we are starting again from the level 1 on the NFP, okay, and market definitely gonna react to non-farm payroll numbers, okay, because Fed is going to depend on data for their policy change. Okay, so thank you very much for coming into the meeting. Hopefully you have learned something, have enjoyed some, and hopefully you got the next wave which you are looking over there. Okay, so super bearish on the euro and bullish on the dollar. Okay, so the daily wave you are looking is very much clear over there. Okay, and that's the wave. Okay, the price to go back to that low, so there are going to be plenty of opportunities on the euro once euro going to start dropping. Have a good day, enjoy your day. We'll see you back into the weekly market outlook on Sunday. Okay, I will update for that. Thank you and bye bye.